Hey, what's up? This is SpiderFrame1 back again with another video review. I'm gonna try something I've been wanting to do for a while. Um, Me and a buddy, we started another channel. Um, I know a couple of people have seen it because one of our videos has 4 views. Um, like the majority of my videos. Um, but I want to review other things. And at this moment in time, I don't have the capabilities or the technology or anything to make it look good or do it like how other people do it. Because I want to start reviewing movies and comic books and just other things besides Transformers and like the mini mates and the Lego sets. I am planning on getting that X-Men Lego set, and when I get it, I will do a V-build of it because I really want to do that one. Um, Mostly because one of the main reasons I want that set is because I want the Wolverine that has the cowl. He finally has the cowl, and it looks great. Um, that's like one of the main reasons I want to get that set. That and Cyclops, because I love Cyclops. Um, and you build a Sentinel. You get to build a Sentinel. It's great. But that's not what I want to talk about right now. What I want to talk about, it's kind of a split review. Because I'm going to be talking about Justice League War and the source material it is based on, which is Justice League Volume 1, or issues 1 through 6. But in the trade paperback, it's I cannot do this backwards. It's called Origin, which is basically how the New 52 universe works. Is everything except this volume and a majority of the Superman Action Comics. The New 52 universe takes place 5 years after all the superheroes have been doing superhero-y stuff. Because in the Flash, I think in one of the Batman books, and maybe in a Green Lantern book, they all specifically say that they have been doing their job for 5 years. I know for a fact it's in Flash, because that's what he says like in his little opening narration for the first bit of the book. I'm just putting that back there because I know where else to put it. But so it's all in the 5 years. But the Justice League Origin and Justice League War take place at the very beginning of the New 52 universe, which is when Batman, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and then in the comic book, Aquaman, and in the movie, Shazam, or Captain Marvel, all first meet each other. And after a fight breaks out with a supervillain, they form the Justice League. And I just wanted to give my personal thoughts on Origin and War, because I've been a Marvel fan like since the very beginning. Spider-Man and Wolverine were my first 2 superheroes, and that's all I knew. Like for the majority of my childhood was just Spider-Man and Wolverine, and essentially the X-Men too, but specifically Spider-Man and Wolverine. And I watched the 90s shows when they were on TV. Not consistently. When I was a kid, I don't think I ever watched a specific show like consistently that wasn't on Nickelodeon or Disney Channel or Cartoon Network, which I know none of like the X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Justice League, none of those were on any of those stations. Justice League was on Cartoon Network. Um, but like the other ones, the big four, they were all on like Kids WB or 4Kids or whatever. So I never got to see them consistently. It would just be like on Saturday mornings on like ABC. I would catch episodes of Spider-Man or the X-Men, and then I had a couple of the X-Men VHS tapes. Um, but when I actually started getting into comic books, the first thing I collected was Spider-Man, and then I started collecting some X-Men stuff, and then I started reading some of my dad's old books, which he later ended up giving to me, which had the Avengers in it, Punisher, Iron Man. Basically, it opened me up to the rest of the Marvel Universe, and then that's where I just started branching out, going, okay, I kind of like this guy. Let's go this way and see about that. But during my childhood, I wasn't really big into the DC stuff, except for like the Justice League cartoon. And because it's like when you grew up as a kid, like back in the '90s, everybody knew Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. Those were your three main superhero food groups: it was Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. And then for me, it was Wolverine. Because it's like I knew who Superman was, I knew who Batman was. I knew Superman was Clark Kent, and he was a reporter at the Daily Planet. And I knew Bruce Wayne was Batman. And that's it. And I knew he had a sidekick named Robin. At that time, I only thought there was the one Robin. Was not privy to any of the information of all the other Robins or anything of the DC universe. I didn't even know who the Joker was. Spoilers. But yeah, it was like because my parents. This is really. I have a really great family. When I was young, like baby young, they would have me stay over at my dad's parents' house, my grandparents. And when I would stay there, they'd go comic booking. So, my dad's collection that he gave to me consisted of 3 giant long boxes. One of which was Spider-Man, one of which was Wolverine, half X-Men, and one of which was Punisher. And then we have at least 4 or 5 volumes or like binders full of the old Marvel trading cards. Just the trading cards, not like a trading card game, but just like the Fleer and Ultra Pro and all the collectible cards that they did back then. Most of which are like complete. Some of them have a few missing here and there. But anyways, it finally got to a point where I was like, where Marvel started making some choices that I just wasn't cool with. And if you were cool with them, that's fine. Because for a while, I quit getting like the regular issues and was just focused on getting trade paperbacks of a bunch of old stuff. And I was kind of getting into DC at the time. I picked up a couple of Batman trade paperbacks, but that was about it. And then I was just getting trade paperbacks of old Spider-Man, X-Men, Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man, blah, blah, blah. And then in 2013, the summer of 2013, I was with a buddy and some of his family, and we were down in San Diego for a concert, and we stopped by a Barnes & Noble. And I was looking at some of the DC stuff, and I saw the Justice League Origin. And I was like, I wonder if I should get this because it's like the few subscriptions I had to Marvel, with I have 5. I had Amazing Spider-Man, which I happened to get right before they ended it at Spider-Man 700. I had Captain America, which right when they switched to the number ones, they sent him into an alternate universe controlled by Arnim Zola. And it was okay, but I just wasn't going for it. Avengers, which the first issue was pretty cool when they relaunched. My subscription started before they relaunched, but the first issue of the relaunch was pretty cool, and it's like, all right, the rest of the Marvel Universe are now Avengers. Not what I wanted. Subscription to Venom, which was really good. The only reason I didn't continue that one is because I didn't have the money to. I really loved the new Venom. And then Deadpool. And that one, I just kind of waned on Deadpool for a while, so I didn't renew it either. But I wanted... Hello, text message. But I wanted to check out DC stuff, and I wanted to go with the current stuff. And I had heard that they had just relaunched with the New 52, and I wanted to see what it was about. I just so happened to pick the Justice League book, which is the first, which was basically the launch title for the relaunch. And I thought it was great. I loved it. Yes, I was upset that they relaunched the universe again, because a lot of the stuff from the stories that I had been collecting is now gone. But it's just something I can put up with. Don't really care. So I read it, and I thought, I still don't know why they decided to put Cyborg with the Justice League and not, turn that off so it doesn't go again, why they put him in the Justice League and not the Teen Titans, when Cyborg's entire previous DC history has been Teen Titans, or the Titans, depending on which series. But now they roped him in with Justice League, I was going to say Justice League War, they roped him into the Justice League, which, it's fine. I have the first 3 trade paperbacks, which is up to the Throne of Atlantis arc. And he does a fine job. And it's still Cyborg. It's a good... They wrote him the same. At least in my opinion. But I don't know. But it was a change I was okay with. I was fine. I really liked how they portrayed Aquaman in it. I thought Aquaman was a really good, strong character in the Justice League. I loved the relationship that they built between Green Lantern and Batman. I loved how they portrayed the Flash. The Flash was pretty cool, and it's like from the get-go, there's a standing relationship. I'm not going to say friendship because they were still kind of on rocky terms between Flash and Green Lantern, which is explained in Flash Annual number 2. Yes, number 2. Where you see Flash and Green Lantern meet for the first time. But during the fight with Superman in the arc, Green Lantern calls Flash and he's like, "Hey, you need to come and help us." Do you remember what happened the last time the two of us were seen together in public? We had to rebuild a city. Yeah, I know, but it was fun. So I thought that was pretty great. And then I don't know, New 52 Wonder Woman. It's not getting me. And it's not the fact of they're now making Superman and Wonder Woman dating canon, which still is pretty stupid. But just the way they portrayed her as just this blood-hungry, gotta fight, gotta fight, gotta fight, gotta fight, gotta fight, gotta fight, because there's nothing else I know how to do. I thought that's she's just a one-note character now. And even though just me personally, I don't have a problem with female superheroes. I think a lot of them are actually pretty cool. I just don't particularly care to, like, buy their stuff and read about them. So, I never have read anything that has Wonder Woman in it where she isn't a guest star in something else. Like, I don't have any, like, standalone Wonder Woman stuff. But, like, from the DC animated Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, I love her in that. She's a great character in it. She actually has 3 dimensions to her character instead of just being a one-note, ooh, look, I'm pretty. And I have the ability to kick some ass, too. I can't really think of anything else that I know her or have seen her in. Well, the other DC animated movies, I have all of them, including Son of Batman. And I love how the next one, the Batman Arkham something or other, comes out the day after my birthday. So first thing I'm buying with my birthday money. But yeah, everything that has her in it. Okay, so I don't know if that counts, but I have the Wonder Woman movie. That was great. To anyone who says there can't be a live action Wonder Woman movie, if they just adapted that, you'd be golden. You'd be golden. And to get Alfred Molina to play Hades, that'd be great. I'd love to see that in live action. But yeah, just the way they've written her in the Justice League books and how they portrayed her in Justice League War, it just didn't set right with me. Especially in Justice League War. It's like they took the one note from the Justice League book to where she's like, gotta fight, gotta fight, gotta fight, gotta fight, gotta fight. Like, both in the book and in the movie, she literally says, I'm here to fight a war. I don't know I don't remember if it was a war, but she's like, I'm here to fight. I am a warrior. That is what I do. I'm like, no, that's not what you do. Also, when you are now an ambassador to a new country, continent, anywhere, you don't run around with a giant freaking sword, unsheathed, and waving it at people. Like the little ice cream scene that is in both the book and the movie. She points the sword at the ice cream dude after the little girl that she meets drops hers on the floor and says, I would like to have some ice cream and get another one for my friend. Point. And it's like an inch away from the dude's nose. And he's like, how would you respond? The same way the guy did. Fine, sure, here, whatever you say, just don't kill me. And she's like, oh, you should be grateful for this achievement known as ice cream. Point. And it's like, serious? You're complimenting this guy and you're waving a damn sword in his face. I wouldn't take that as a compliment. I'd take that as anything you say wrong, even if I'm complimenting you, anything you say wrong, I'm going to stab you. And then Superman. New 52 Superman. I think this is funny. I just recently picked up the first two volumes, trade paperback. I'm getting all of them in trade paperback. I'm not buying any of the hardcovers. I got the first two volumes of the Superman book. I had Action Comics, the first volume of Action Comics, because I wanted to read the new backstory for Superman. But let's just look at this real quick, since I have both of them on hand. Okay, so this is what they're trying to sell off as the new Superman. It's a darker costume, and it's got the Swoop S, the New 52 Swoop S, which is, it's an okay change. I don't particularly care for it, but it's not anger-inducing. I mean, yet freaking Iron Man and Batman have gone through so many costumes. I think Soups can deal with a change. Now take a look at the one for Superman. Minus the red belt and the fact that he's got the goofy little triangle bits that come out on his hand. Sorry, freaking mirror. That S is pretty close to that S. It's actually almost the same S. But this is the one that they're trying to sell. This is the S that they put in for the New 52 costume for Injustice. This is the one that the little toys are made out of. I know it's red on red, but you can still kind of make out the swoop, the swoopy S on his chest. Frickin' the preview for Lego Batman 3 has both Superman and Wonder Woman in their New 52 costumes, with both of which are darker, because DC, having Batman in it, needs to take the Batman aspect and bleed it into the rest of the DC universe, which is, everybody likes that Batman is dark, brooding, and secretive. So we're going to make the rest of the DC universe dark, brooding, and secretive. You don't need to do that, but whatever. The main point I wanted to talk about for doing Justice League and Justice League War is the major difference between the two in the fact of the comic book has Aquaman and the movie has Captain Marvel, aka Shazam. Which, by the way, yes, I have his trade paperback. Which is really funny because his trade paperback is a collection of backstories that you get at the back of the single issues for Justice League. So Captain Marvel, and yes, I'm going to keep calling him Captain Marvel because that's his name, not Shazam. Captain Marvel doesn't even get his own book in the New 52. He's just the backstory, or the second story, in the back of a bunch of Justice League books. And yet he warranted a full appearance that they had to rewrite basically the Justice League origin in order to fit him in. And it wasn't bad, but I'm sorry, Aquaman had a way stronger presence in this and was actually needed more than Captain Marvel was. Because in the book, you don't meet Aquaman until about issue, like, 4? Issue 4, I think. And the reason why you meet him is because they're fighting a bunch of parademons, and the fight takes them to the docks outside of Metropolis. I think it's Metropolis. Yeah, it's Metropolis, because that's where they meet Superman. Um, and a parademon's about to kill one of them. I think it's the Flash. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a shark comes up and bites through the pier that they're in, grabs the parademon and sucks him back down. And then Aquaman kind of stumbles up onto the deck and is like, so who's in charge here? I nominate myself. Because Aquaman's arrogant like that. And later on during the fight with Darkseid, the group consensus on taking down Darkseid while Batman's off trying to save Superman, and I know I'm saying a lot of these plot points like you know what I'm talking about, and forgive me for that, but while Batman is off trying to save Superman because Superman got taken by the parademons back to Apokolips, the group consensus on how to defeat Darkseid is to blind him. Because Darkseid shoots the Omega Beams, which follow you until they hit you. And hold on, I'm going to make this a two-parter because I think I need to go here real quick. So I will continue this talk in a later video. So I'm Spider Prime 1, and I will return.